Hey Lakers family, tonight Los Angeles feels different. The lights look brighter, the whispers are louder, and the air has that pre-storm electricity that tells you something big is lining up for purple and gold. I'm on with you because what I've been hearing, cross-checked with people who know this market, points in one direction. The chessboard is moving, and the Lakers are preparing a swing that can change the entire Western Conference picture. Here's what I'm going to lay down for you. Straight and clean. What pushed the front office to this point, the exact basketball logic behind the move, the cost and the cap reality, how it reshapes Anthony Davis's role the minute it happens, how it touches LeBron's timeline whether he stays or goes, the risk the Lakers would be betting on, and why the payoff is big enough that you can feel the city leaning forward in its seat. I'll thread it all together so you can see what I see. No fluff, no drama for clicks, just the plan and the consequence if the domino falls the way I think it's about to fall. We got here because the Lakers have been living in two worlds at once. World one, respect the now, maximize every ounce of what LeBron James still brings in late career, keep the window cracked open every spring. World two, protect the future around Anthony Davis. Keep the picks that actually matter, keep wings who can grow, and stay dangerous in the draft and development lane. You can run that double life for only so long before the calendar wins. When the league tightened the rules and turned the second apron into a steel door, it forced every contender to choose. Pile your chips now or hold your ground for tomorrow. The Lakers can't sit on the fence. Not with this fan base. Not with this brand. And not with Davis still at a level that demands a co-star who fits him like a tailored suit, not a borrowed jacket. So what exactly forced the urgency? Simple. The West keeps adding layers of size and shooting. The teams that matter keep stretching the floor to the parking lot while still defending the rim. You can't fight that with half measures. The Lakers need a big who can punish switches without clogging the lane for drives, a 5 who drags a shot blocker 25 feet from the rim and makes a defense choose between surrendering the paint or surrendering the arc. They need a big who creates spacing gravity on the catch, not just on reputation. They need a front-court partner who lets AD be a destroyer, not a firefighter juggling two jobs every trip. And you know the archetype I'm pointing to because it's been staring us in the face every time spacing tilts a playoff series. A stretch 5 with real touch. A 7-footer who can hit a 3 without blinking, run simple actions with guards, and still hit the glass enough to survive April and May. That's the basketball reason. Now the cap reason. You don't land a premium front-court shooter in today's NBA with couch cushion change. You match serious money with serious money, and you sweeten it with future equity that actually hurts. The Lakers have levers, even inside the new maze. They've got salary slots that can be combined creatively. They've got controlled picks, those longer-tail assets everyone circles in red ink. They've got young players on team-friendly numbers who make any boardroom stop and think. Yes, the apron rules limit gymnastics, but a deal can still thread the needle if you're willing to live with the pain the morning after. And make no mistake, any real swing will include pain. You don't get cleaner spacing, bigger shot volume, and front-court flexibility for free. Let's talk the court again because this is where it gets fun. Imagine Davis freed from constant nail-to-corner help rotations because the other team's 5 can't plant himself at the rim. Imagine him as the weak side eraser while his partner occupies the strong side defender at 25 feet. Imagine empty corner pick and roll with the big popping to the slot, while a slot cutter stunts then clears. The kind of action that forces a defense to pick between giving up a rhythm 3 or surrendering a straight line drive. That shape turns into an avalanche when your guards can read the low man and hit the spray pass on time. The Lakers love that geometry. It looks like half a dozen easy buckets a night that didn't exist yesterday. It looks like Davis finishing plays instead of manufacturing miracles for 8 minutes straight. It looks like sustainability. Of course, there's the other side of the ball. You don't chase a shooter at that size and pretend there's no defensive conversation. This move isn't about turning into the 04 Pistons overnight. It's about raising your offensive ceiling so high that you can survive the possessions where the opponent runs a guard-big combo at your hips. It's about schemes that cover the few possessions you bleed, toggling between drop and show, scram switching from the corner, using AD as the roaming fix when the matchup gets sticky. This coaching staff can do that. They've done it in pockets. What they need is the weapon that makes those trade-offs worth it every night from Christmas through Mother's Day. So who's the weapon? You already know where I'm going. But stay with me because the pathway matters as much as the name. Around the league, the chatter has crystallized into two skeletons of a deal. Framework 1. A star-for-star concept built on name value and matching money. The kind of blockbuster that would split every bar in Los Angeles down the middle. Framework 2. A multi-team structure that spreads the salary, ships out familiar pieces we love, attaches future draft weight, and sneaks under the rail of the new rules by inches. Both paths end at the same address. Both paths draw the same blueprint on the whiteboard. Davis next to a stretch 5 who shoots like a wing, posts when needed, and drags a rim protector into nightmares. The name on that door is Karl-Anthony Towns. Before I go full throttle on it, let me be crystal with you, because that's what you come here for. I'm not here to cosplay as a sources account. I'm here to track the smoke that actually comes from a fire. Does a Towns to Lakers swing take courage? Yes. Does it require salary matching that makes your stomach knot? Yes. Does it force a choice about who the Lakers will be in 2 years? Absolutely. But if you map the incentives, the front office urgency, the roster shape, the kind of star who complements AD instead of duplicating him, every arrow points to the same solution. And if you've watched this league long enough, you know when the arrows start pointing in one direction, the league usually finds a way to follow. Let's quickly talk role. Towns arrives, and on day 1, you run a layered menu. High slot pick and pop with guards. Spain pick and roll with a guard back screen freeing AD on the dive. Elbow handoffs that flip into slips when the chase comes over the top. Ghost screens to induce switches and feed Davis on the duck-in. And the old-school too-big high-low and defenses flatten into drop to survive the threes. You stagger minutes so that Towns gets a stretch as the solo 5 with wing runners, then close with both bigs when the matchup allows. Offense becomes honest again because the paint is not a parking lot anymore. And for the old heads who like the mid-post game, you'll see it. Towns catching at 17 feet, jab series into the soft middle, and then the kick if the help bites. It's not just highlights, it's shape. Now the fit with Davis is the whole point. AD is at his best when he can roam on defense and kill at the rim on offense without guarding 2 actions at once. With Towns pulling a big to the arc, AD decides which job he wants possession to possession, rim anchor or roamer. On offense, Davis becomes the hammer again, rim runs, slips, seals, because the lane is open. We've seen stretches when a true spacer beside him turned the court into a runway. This is that idea turbocharged, because Towns is not a token spacer. He's a threat defenses must respect deep in the shot clock. That gravity is currency. It buys you 1 or 2 extra good looks every quarter. Over a season, that's the difference between a good offense and a terrifying one. Let's be grown-ups and talk cost. You're sending out real players fans love. You're almost certainly touching at least 1 distant first-rounder, perhaps 2, and you might have to include a swap. That's the tax to enter this store now. The question is whether the Lakers believe having Davis plus a prime window shooter scorer at 5 is the correct identity for the next 3 springs. I believe they do. It doesn't mean it's painless. It means they've decided the pain is worth the lane that opens up after the trade call ends. You also accept variance. Some nights Towns hits a heater and the game breaks open. Some nights the matchup demands you tilt the usage back to AD and live with Towns as spacer plus. That's fine. In May, having 2 ways to win is the only luxury that matters. I'm adding 1 more layer that everyone's whispering about. LeBron's timeline. If the blockbuster lands in the star-for-star bucket, you're choosing the next decade over the next month. If it lands in the multi-team bucket and LeBron stays, you're giving him 1 more run with a perfect spacer while easing his load. Either way, the decision forces clarity. It's not cruelty. It's the business of rings. The front office knows the city will accept any hard goodbye or any loud hello if the basketball makes sense, and if the plan is transparent in the wins. And this plan makes basketball sense. Towns is a hand-in-glove partner for AD on offense. He shifts how teams guard the Lakers on first action and second action. He makes every guard immediately better because the passing windows get bigger and the closeouts get longer. There's a risk profile here you have to acknowledge. Health, playoff physicality, defensive targets, all real. But risk without return is gambling, and this isn't that. This is calculated portfolio management. You're buying an asset that historically performs well next to elite rim protectors and playmaking forwards. You're betting on shot quality scaling in the postseason when scouting narrows the court. You're betting on a coaching staff that can cover for 5 vulnerable possessions a half by winning the other 43 with spacing, pace, and matchup manipulation. We've seen versions of this work. The Lakers have the skeleton to make it work here. Let me pull you inside the gym and talk the little things you'll feel the first week. The first time a defense overloads to one side, Towns will drag his man high and the Lakers will run a shake cut behind it. Free 3. The first time a team tries to blitz the guard at the top, Towns short rolls to the nail and hits AD ceiling on the dunker spot. Free 2 and a foul. The first time a defense says, fine, switch it, the guard clears, Towns buries a smaller body, and you hear the building breathe in before the drop step. Free bucket. Those plays flip film sessions. They make coaches hesitate. Hesitation is victory in this league. Now, I promised you the heartbeat of this story, and you've earned it. The reason the temperature is up tonight is because the pieces, salary logic, roster shape, the market's hunger for star swaps, have slid into alignment in a way they don't very often. That's why you feel it. That's why inside this city, people with skin in the game are talking as if the door just cracked open. This is not smoke for attention. This is basketball gravity pulling 2 sides toward the same center. The center is Los Angeles. The piece is Karl-Anthony Towns. And the message, if this goes where I think it goes, is loud. The Lakers are done tiptoeing around the idea of a true stretch 5 next to AD. They want it. They're pushing for it. And they're ready to pay the price. If you rock with this community and want to live this ride in real time, lock in with me. Hit that subscribe. Drop a like so this reaches more Lakers diehards. And keep the bell on because when this story moves an inch, we move with it in minutes. I'll keep bringing you the breakdowns and the context others skip. No nonsense, no guessing games, just what matters and why it matters for us. Before I close, I want your voice in the room. If the cost is heavy, rotation player plus prospects plus those distant firsts, do you still greenlight a Towns move because it unlocks AD and sets the identity for the next 3 years? Or do you guard the picks and chase a smaller fix on the wing instead? Tell me below how you'd play the board, which pieces you'd protect, and what your closing 5 would look like with Towns in gold. I'm reading every comment tonight. My concise read on the headline for those who just landed right now. A Towns to LA swing is not fantasy. It's an answer to a problem this roster has fought for 2 seasons. Paint congestion and inconsistent spacing around AD. The move gives you a second offensive engine without trapping you in ISO ball. And it frames the franchise around Davis in a way that actually holds through the next window. The cost will sting, the cap will squeeze. The learning curve will be real. But championships are made of choices like this, not of wish lists. If the Lakers pull this off, the identity becomes clear the second the ball goes up. Size, skill, and spacing that punishes every mistake. That's a version of the Lakers I can believe in. If you can too, say it below and stay here with me. This is where you get the news first and the truth fastest.